Fynn it to win it. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Fynn, the Fangbearer. And you may be wondering, why Amy? Why do you want to poison people with your death-touching creatures? Well, it's because we had a lot of 1-mana 1/1s with Death Touch recently added to Arena. We also have a lot of people who are looking to build budget-ranked decks so they can play in the newly introduced ranked queue. And while I don't approve of the ranked queue, I do approve of people playing budget decks, because what's more accessible than all of the various 1-mana 1/1s that are mostly commons and uncommons, these various death touchers that happen to be very good. A few of them are rares, and a few of the other supporting cards in this deck are rare, but if you don't feel like playing them, if you don't have room in your various budget for it, that's okay. Take them out. Swap them with other cards that happen to be good, green, protective spells, fight spells, because that's all this deck is. Fynn, death touchers, and of course, protection spells and fight or bite spells, especially the 1-mana ones, so you can hold up protection, so you can swing in, or things that give trample, because death touch and trample is a great way to get damage through. Once you hit people 5 times, or just with 5 different death-touching creatures, Fynn will have won you the game, because 10 poison is all it takes to win. And if you don't like the poison cards themselves, well, you can do it without the death touch. You can do it with toxic, you can do it with infect. That's right, we do have infect in Arena. And apparently Triumph of the Hordes is actually coming to Arena soon too. So you can deal even more damage with your death touchers in the form of poison. So let's take Fynn into the queue and see if we're Fynn it to win it. Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student, and they go first. I don't have any counterspell protection here, so we're going to mulligan. And I do have counterspell protection, and I have a bonus land here. Very, very good cards for me to have. I can drop one of the lands from my hand, or I could maybe drop the Smell Fear, since I also have Blizzard Brawl, and Tamiyo is notably just the 1-mana 0/3. She does not have any power, so using a fight spell, even if I don't have the indestructible, doesn't make as much of a difference. Tamiyo is typically, all counter spells, and that's exactly what I expect to see from them. I don't expect to see a counter spell on this turn though, so I'm actually going to play Dragon Sniper into Blizzard Brawl. Just kill Tamiyo. If she flips over, it's really hard for me to deal damage to them, since this plus ability negates most of the damage, since most of my creatures have 1 power. Here comes Allosaurus Shepherd into Fynn. No longer can my things be countered. Also an uncounterable spell itself. A helpful 1-drop in a deck full of 1-drops. Swing in. Let's see if they flash out Malcolm. Oh, Fairy Vandal. Okay, I'll trade. An unusual inclusion in Tamiyo, but you know, if you want to draw extra cards, and Tamiyo is all about drawing those cards to flip over, it grows pretty quickly. Here's Tamiyo again. You give reach. You do give reach. So you already have reach. Great. Make it really hard for them to attack. I don't need to attack with the Allosaurus Shepherd, since they would just block it. Doesn't have Death Touch. Get poisoned. I don't believe I have any Spider Hero cards in my deck. You'd think that, like, you'd have more Death Touch among the Spidered men. Nope. No Death Touch. You want to attack in and get a clue? Hi, Uro. They will gain life. They will draw a card. Spider-Man usually doesn't kill people. That's true. He usually doesn't kill people. They're searching for his Kanta. That's going to help them fill up the graveyard. And I'll ambush them with my Viper. And I'll swing in with all of these. That is correct. Rusko, Clockmaker. You're gonna have to wipe him out because this man, oh, he's a war criminal. He's gonna be making clocks, draining my life, gaining life, and playing the nastiest blue and black spells there are. Whether it's going to be counter spells or kill spells, board wipes and planeswalkers, Rusko's got access to all of that, and as long as it's a non-creature spell, it fits in with his game plan. They also did go first. I'll play with this Dragon Sniper, and we're just going to try to kill them before they establish themselves, but with them going first, like, it just takes a board wipe or two, and then we can't really catch up. See what I shocked that in? I think if I play Fynn, it just gets killed or countered, so I'm actually not going to play it this turn, even though it means I'm not getting the poison in. More 1-drops. A Tajuru Light Blade. The Haywire Might. Hey! Oh, they're peeking at my hand. Hey. They've now seen all the cards in my hand. Land, another Death Toucher, a Sorcery Speed Bite that happens to proliferate, and Infectious Bite, which gives a poison. Now, they don't usually have that many creatures in their deck, which is a little bit iffy here. Oh, look, a creature. We love those. Nice Veil of Summer. Trade ya. Yeah, Might does not have Death Touch. We do have a few cards that, like, give Death Touch to another creature. But it's really good just, like, sustain and, like, enchantment removal. Because sometimes they'll, like, turn Fynn into a toy and you have to remove an aura, and this is a great way to do that. Reanimate. They are putting the power 18 into their deck, the power 9 twice, giving them higher chances of drawing Moxens and Time Warps. And they know about these bites and fights. Actually, one sec. I wanna... Okay. I will fight the bird. Excellent. Poison. Swinging in with all of these. Maybe they have a Malcolm to flash out. And they're at 7 poison. This gives an 8. One more hit brings them to 10. There and more, they cycle. And Veil of Summer can stop some things, but only targeting things. Temporal Manipulation! They're taking an extra turn. Gross, I hate it. You've got 6 mana. That's time for some high-impact spells. Extra turn to draw a card and play a land. And maybe they were going to get their Time Walk off it. Who knows? I could technically kill Rusko before they get the land here. I'm going to try that. Just in case they have, like, a 3-mana spell they want. And because I have enough mana to replay Fynn, if they have a kill spell, they would probably want to wait until my turn to use it anyway. And I can blank it with this Veil of Summer. Agent of Raffine. Ooh, crime. Just a great 1-drop, honestly. Alright. We go to combat. We swing with everything. Snapcaster Mage! But they have nothing to snap back. They didn't have any free spells, right? No. Yeah, reanimate yourself to death. They have to block the 2 death touchers. Yeah, this is fine with me. Venom Sac, Lagak. And I am very much considering rocking their clocks off. I'm gonna just chill like this. Rusko, he's but a single blocker. But also a single clocker. They bing, they bong. Rhesus Roach. I'm going to giddy up and put this bug and this other bug in the saddle. And I have a beautiful assortment of protective spells here. Alright, Rusko. Can you stop me? A single hit takes you out. Yeah, you don't have anything. Get out of here, Rusko. Take your 2 poison and leave. GG. Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. The bird that gives a bit of trample and a bit of a buff to all your creatures when you cast instants and sorceries, which allows you to go wide and deal a ton of damage. And especially if you have the things that make a creature when you cast an instant or sorcery, like your Young Pyromancer, like your Saheeli's. Oh, you can go nuts on it. All right, Fynn. Let's see if Fynn ends up getting countered, bolted, etc. Yep. Lightning Bolt, actual factual Lightning Bolt on Fynn. So I'm just dealing 1 damage to them. Quarry Steel Cutter, if they cast another spell, they'll get a dude. Thank goodness, no dude. All right, Jesse Zane. Jesse Zane is going to put a snake into the top 6 cards of my deck. An Ambush Viper. They're iterating expressively. Yeah, this is one of like 2 cards with Infect in Arena. It's this and Skitherix? Hey, if I need poison, that gets me poison. And once I get poison on them, I can proliferate. Okay, so they've got a tapped land here, so if they have a free spell... They didn't? Okay, I was gonna say, that would get them a blocker. Nice. The Ambush Vipers are good, but I really want to get that first poison on, so... We Fynn! In it to Fynn it! Here's Balmor, second spell. Reckless Charge. Wait, we're getting Triumph of the Hordes in Strixhaven's bonus sheet? Oh, well, that's absolutely a, no, if they have any instant or sorcery, it would cause Fynn to die. That's absolutely a way to win. It's kind of like a super overrun effect that because it gives Infect, it can be like, yeah, you only need 10 damage and then you win the game. All right, I don't have any protection here. Okay, sure up. You're up. Unfortunately stops him from getting the poison. But it doesn't give, like, hexproof or anything. Everybody in. Oh, I don't have a permanent card in my graveyard, but, I don't need it. You needed to block there. Atraxa, Grand Unifier. 7 mana, 7/7 with flying. With Death Touch. with lifelink and with vigilance. She also refills your hand pretty much entirely. I go first, so not having the turn 1 play isn't as bad here. I like having Jesse Zane. I like having these protective spells. I'll keep this. And part of it's because, I don't know, I think Rogue's Passage against this menace might be nice. Though bite spells, let me take her out. Behold, Lair of the Hydra! Yeah, Atraxa decks typically are running a huge variety of different removal spells. In part because, well, the more variety of card types, the more cards you get to put into hand when Atraxa enters play. Hello, yes, one Fynn. Just drop a building on her. I mean, that's what the Riveteers did. It worked for them. Abrupt Decay. Can't be countered. Fynn is dead. Jesse Zane. Fangbringer. Please and Fang see you. We're going to put ourselves a snake in the deck. Where are the snakes? In our boots, in our decks, everywhere. Over little Hauntwoods, that ramps them. Once they get to 7, Atraxa's probably coming out if they've emptied up their hand. Ooh, Ink Moth. I'm trying to decide if I want to, wait a turn on playing Fynn so I can protect him better. Even though it means not dealing poison. I'd really like to apply that first poison though, so I'm going to try to play Fynn. Jesse Zane, swing in, deal 3. And apply 2 poison. Could be a board wipe. Again, a lot of removal typically packed into these decks since you just ramp into Atraxa. Are you pondering what they're pondering? It looks like they shuffled, but I couldn't tell. Misty Rainforest. They're looking at these. Yeah, they know I'm tapped out. And I do have ways to get more poison on this by like using Overprotect. Ooh, Oracle of the Alpha. I don't think I'll go for the Ink Moth this turn. You know what? No, they only have 1 mana. Rogue's Passage. Ink Moth is a dude. Swim, swim, hungry. Cracking open, Misty Rainforest. Fatal Push, Spell Pierce. And I went for blue, Unsummon. Oh, I'm sorry, which member? This one? Fynn has hexproof. Does not die. And poison has been applied. They go to 7. Hey, Decap, thank you for the 9-month resub. Wandering Emperor gets to come down, exile a guy. Oh, actually, it is going to make a Vigilant Samurai. I say oops. I'll be honest with you, Atraxa. I don't believe any Atraxa deck that says oops. I'm going to throw down this Allosaurus Shepherd right here. Just in case. They don't have Settle mana. I trust some decks when they say oops. When they make a very clear mistake. I do trust like that. So what's the vibe? Okay, it's death. I mean, even minusing on that wouldn't have saved them because we had the Overprotect on the Infect. But we get some poison in play. I wonder if the oops was they had a better card in hand. And they realized it after. We've all been there. Urza, or Terra, as it's showing up in here. This is a mono blue artifacts commander that's typically running a couple of combo plays. Not just Paradox Engine, but maybe even Painter's Servant, because if you can tutor for artifacts, you may as well play them, but you can also just use Urza for value and beat people down with a construct. You sure are playing things at 0 mana. I mean, you can tap that for mana once Urza's in play. I am going to try to evaluate if I think this person is holding counterspells this early. Because I do have Allosaurus Shepherd. So I'm not going to play Fynn this turn. I'm going to play it next turn. Okay, cool. Allosaurus Shepherd. Guiltleaf Alchemist. Here comes Urza and the construct. They have 1, 2, 3 mana up. And I sure did not get mo mana. That's okay. I'm alright with trading into stuff. I know you got something, because it's holding priority. If they had 5 mana, it would be this ability also holding. Ooh, going for trades. Essentially 2 for wanting me, because Urza came with a guy. But they might have a way to, like, protect this, or nullify some abilities. 3 steps ahead, so they were holding a counter spell, and they're just going to use this to draw, discard, and look for things. Now, against Fynn, maybe even, like, mass bounce spells would be pretty good. Force of Negation, okay. They dropped that, because counter spells don't work until this thing's gone. I also have Veil of Summer in hand, but that's better for, like, if they target me with a bounce. Guardian Idol, that will be eventually able to block. They have 1 mana up. I guess I'll just go for the ramp. I'll swing in with Fynn. You know what? Sure. Allosaurus Shepherd, you seem like you crave violence. Get in there, sweetie. Apheresis Roach. Nightshade. I'm going to go Nightshade Dryad because I didn't get a land. Lands? Yeah, they're in there. This is a very land-light deck. But if you look at the curve of this deck, it's almost entirely 1-drops. Hi, Urza! Fynn, kill him. Eight Weaver, Apheresis Roach. If I had gotten a land, I would be swinging this turn, but I didn't. Got enough mana for Urza again? Really? Huh, I missed that. They're such beautiful cards. I'll kill one of the constructs. I'd really like to get that first poison on there. If I were them, I would block, kill Fynn, potentially trade Urza into Fate Weaver, depending on what I have in hand. Yep. But I'm trying to apply any poison. Okay, great. Blockers removed. Poison applied. And now I have something more to proliferate. Eladamri can't play lands off the top, but it can play creatures off the top. Which is why it's in this deck. Because it's good card advantage for a green deck that is chock full of 1 and 2 drops. Ooh. Agnikella. They have mana up. I have to be worried about that blocking. Let's see what they got. They dropped Swan Song. You're a very counterspell heavy deck. Okay, they are able to still animate Guardian Idol. Which means no attacking with the Roach. Poor Papa Roach. Poor child Roach. I'm gonna go for Eladamri. There's a bite down on top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You want to trade into the Guardian Idol? It's not applying any poison. This is just a 1/2 with Death Touch. And if I counted right, it might keep you off Urza this turn. Might Stone! And Weak Stone. You killing Eladamri? Killing Allosaurus Shepherd. Wild. By the way, this wouldn't have blanked that anyway, because that is a colorless source. Okay. Get him! The Adamri. Make my toxins grow! Is this getting countered? Yeah, they're just like, I have had counterspell in my hand, and I have been waiting to stop you this whole time. Yeah, I know. This cannot be used to cast Urza, but they had enough. All right. Bite Blade! Unless they get more mana here, it's like... that stops him from activating Urza next turn. Even though it means I'm not getting anything through here. I'll get there. If they play a blue spell, I might just Veil of Summer to cantrip. Because Eladamri lets me cheat creatures into play, too. I just played a land. Moss Viper. There's another land on top. My friend Fynn. Hello, I will attack you with my Blight Blade. Boop. Look at me and my little guys. If they got a land, they would have this. Okay, so they're drawing and discarding. The stalls are so funny with these games. Felden's Cade? Alright, Expedition Map. You can just crack that now. And they can get a non-basic land off this. They're just asking how old is Scraps. We don't actually know because we adopted her as an adult. We think she's around 14-ish. She's a little old lady. Fomori Vault. Interesting. They can use that as card advantage. Oh, no, wait. You have to discard for it. You can use it for card filtering, if nothing else. I will go to combat. And I'm swinging with everything. Big poison. And also, Eladamri's there. One more poison, and that ends the game. Here comes Urza. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if they wanted to activate Urza. I'm gonna go for the cantrip here. They cast a blue spell. This is me saying I know there's a land on top. I'm gonna move it away. But I think we're good. Either this or this is gonna hit. And I only need one. Also, I do have some protections. All right, what do you got? What do you got, Urza? Let's clock and roll. Ah, yes. Delicious poison damage. Yuffie, who's actually Yuriko. And while, yes, Fynn is pretty good at blocking Yuriko herself, they have ways to make her unblockable. I'm gonna go for a mulligan here. Ooh, look at me getting that Gemstone Caverns actually when I want it. I think I'll drop Collective Resistance, since they tend not to play that many artifacts and enchantments. This is also like a nice protective spell. It does a bit of everything. Modern Horizons design. I like how Scorpion is not an insect or spider for the purposes of this game. So they have their unblockable thing. I'm just going to spit out a couple of little guys here. So Phoresis Roach does not have Death Touch, but does have Toxic. And Moss Viper just has Death Touch. So this way, it's like, yes, I'm hedging my bets on if Fynn actually gets to stick around. We'll see if they actually play Yuriko this turn. Since Yuriko, you don't ever actually cast her, you just ninjutsu her. And there are free kill spells in black. They cost life, but life is kind of meaningless against this deck. Let's see what they got. It's a land! All right, I like that. Let me see if Fynn resolves. Oh my god, he did. Swinging in. All of the insects in my deck get an additional bit of toxic. There is at least one other insect in the deck. There's Haywire Mite. There's probably another one that even has Death Touch. Yeah, scorpions are arachnids. That's why I'm saying it's funny that they're not spiders or insects. They're like, yeah, they're scorpions. Because their taxonomy is different. Of all the things that Magic differentiates between cat people, house cats, and lions, all cats. Ooh, a Banehound. And Tetsuko Umezawa. Gonna make all these unblockable. Still only one ninja trigger. They reveal the top card. Oh goodness, it was just a land. But they left themselves with only one blocker. Kind of surprised they didn't leave back Banehound. They also didn't play the Herald, so they have a 1 mana something that they want to do something with. I'm not going to attack in with the Roach. You know what? No, I am going to attack in with the Roach. Nah. No, because I only have enough mana for one of these. They want to boink it? Okay. I'm gonna get saved by the shell. That gives me trample, hexproof, and indestructible. Turtle power. They take the full hit. And now a single poison ends the game. In my hand, I do have an uncounterable, eventual toxic takedown. But the way that Yuriko is able to deal damage, that's going to be kind of hard for me. Okay. They had another kill spell. Fynn dies. Yep. All the fatal pushes, cut downs, etc. all work very well on Fynn. They disfigured my Phoresis Roach, since it has toxic. Yeah, Tyrannix Rex is one of those... You're not going to play it in that many games, but it will occasionally be the end you need. There's also a bunch of, you get encountered? There's a bunch of, like, proliferate cards in this deck. Alright, let's see if we can trade. Just trade with the 2/1/1s. I already can't block their stuff, so that's fewer things they can ninjutsu with and fiddle around with Yuriko. And by the way, Tetsuko, this is crazy, not a ninja. Yes, she's an Umezawa. No, she's not a ninja. Oh, see, I told you it had toxic. Because it's an insect. Alright. Are you in it to fin it? Otawara, they're just bouncing it back into my hand. Okay. They have, by the way, like, only hit lands on Yuriko. Is it because she's currently on... She's on Dominaria in this art. She must have, like, her ancestors came through from Kamigawa forever ago. All right, Yuriko, are you going to hit something that deals like 13? Ginger Brute! You got all your unblockables. Where's your ninjas? Try to take out Tesco. In response, they're giving Fynn the chop. There's no longer a creature here, so Tetsuka lives. I'll play Fang Ishigeki. I mean, they've been drawing removal on all of their draws. It's just their draws off Yuriko have not been high damage or very interesting. I guess to protect against certain removal, I could have, like, played that, used that. What you got? Mockingbird? What would I copy here? Maybe Fang? X equals 0, which means they spent 1 mana, which means they get to copy Haywire Might. The butler. Hello, I can get reach. No, I can't block any of your stuff. Because I could have attacked in there. It's like, it's 1 damage because, again, I can't block any of their stuff. What a strange game. Once again, Yuriko. That is also not a ninja. It is a rogue. You're tapping the gemstone cavern. It's Fynn. I'll attack with Fang of Shigeki. They'll trade with it. The Haywire Might just kind of gets blocked by the other Haywire Might in Tetsuko since it doesn't have Death Touch. It just has Toxic. Yes, I am 1 mana away from Tyrannix Rex, which right now looks like it's going to be what can win me the game. Especially if they focus removal on Fynn next turn. If I live through 2 more land draws? No, I only need 1. This is a mana dork. Unless... Nope, you hit Fatal Push. Okay, bye, Fynn. Again. Yeah, there's so many cheap removals that you play in this deck. And it's one of those, like, you play a ton of these, not just because of decks like Fynn, but because of decks like Ragavan, Raphaelos. Okay, Ba Sing Se, it comes into play. Uncounterable! And Ward 4. This deck might be a little toxic. Let me in. Let me in. They could actually have a kill spell to kill it. That, like, Ward 4? You can get through Ward 4. You have that much mana? 2 cards in hand? Mm-hmm. Do you have a kill spell for it? Unsummon. That's so funny. Alright. Haywire might trade into Ginger Brute. I gain 3 life. The 3 life is actually going to be pretty important sustain right there. You got a Thoughtseize? If they kill Frog Butler, then I would also need another land in order to do this. Unsummon. Hey, if it works, it works. We have Unsummon Plus, but they're probably running those as well. Like Fading Hope and stuff. I take 3. Yuriko reveals another land. Girl, what is with you in lands? Like, you are drawing cards every turn, which has given you access to all of this removal. Alright, yeah, see, they also have Fading Hope. So if I draw a land, I'm able to play this. Otherwise, I'm not. Okay, I drew a land, Tyrannix Rex. We go to combat. Do you have a kill spell? They have another bounce. 3 in a row. Subtlety. That's actually a problem for me because this is not actually a spell that would be countered by this. It puts it on top of the deck. That's rough, buddy. That's gonna be a win for them. I can try to get something off Veil of Summer, but I don't, like, unless I get an instant speed bite, there's not much I can get. So I'm gonna go for Frog Butler. Yeah, right now they just have lethal damage. Come on, play it. I need you to play a blue or black spell. Okay, Snuff Out. So they also had a Snuff Out. They would have been able to kill Tyrannix Rex. And I got a Sorcery Speed Bite spell. Yeah, I was hoping for one of the Proliferates. Didn't get there. I will say good game, let it resolve, and skedaddle. Raffine, Scheming Seer, gets to connive, giving your creatures the potential to grow and filter your hand as they attack. Some Raffine decks are also running quite a bit of reanimation, since you draw and discard. I will play a turn 1 Death Toucher, and I'm on the play, which is, I think, one of the best things for Fynn is being on the play. I imagine this deck has a huge play-draw disparity. Ooh, a Mother of Runes. I think that the Mother of Runes must be eliminated, even though it means I'm not applying poison as early, because otherwise they are able to protect all of their creatures, including itself. Okay, Esper Sentinel. I don't care about an Esper Sentinel. Bring out Fynn. Trade. Mom, no. Mother's a menace. Poison has been applied. I'm going to play a non-death-touching creature, our venerated Rot Priest. And they're exiling a card from my graveyard. Draw a different card. I'll have a protective spell that will also apply Toxic next turn. Ooh, Rogue's Passage. I don't think I need to go for Access Tunnel here. I will attack with all of these. In you go, sweeties. Cathor Commando. Okay, who you blocking? I will protect Fynn. Gives you a poison. Do I pay the 1? I will pay the 1. Poison has been applied. Hello, yes. These are creatures. They're up to 6 poison. And they cannot stop it. At least not without letting their creatures die. Liliana of the Veil. I have no colored mana here, so I'm definitely throwing this back. Liliana will make me discard, make me sacrifice. And because they go first, well, it's going to be harder for me to get going. As I was talking about in the Raffine game, I think this deck does a lot better on the play, so I actually checked the stats. And this deck has a 100% win rate on the play. Which, sure. Yeah, this is rough. I really want to have a 1-drop creature, so I have something to sacrifice instead of Fynn. The boots are nice. Favorite enemy probably won't have much to hit. We're going to go for a double mulligan. Just saying, hey. Hey, girl. Can you hit planeswalkers? No. You know what? I'll find it. I'm like trying to think how many creatures I think they'll play. Yeah, 100% win rate currently on the play and a 46% win rate on the draw. Which, yeah, that checks out. So this is a mono black control deck. It might have a discard sub-theme. You think Dragon Cyphers is just like the homie? Like, Vigilance Reach Death Touch? What a dude! What's a... I know you have a kill spell. I'm not playing Fynn right now. I'm setting up to prevent against edicts, but if you have a board wipe in hand, that's game anyway. It's an uncommon. It's not even from a Horizon set. Yeah, I know. It's really good. It's definitely one of those... Wow, we've gotten a lot of 1-mana, 1/1 Death Touchers recently. You know who that's great for? Fynn. That's part of why we're recording Fynn right now. A Heartless Act. Yeah, I can bluff having a protective spell here. I don't, but what if I did? You could play Liliana, and plus, I wouldn't be able to kill her. No, they're going for black market connections. Now, they could have Snuff Out. In fact, I think they do have Snuff Out. I am still going to play Fynn here. They snuffin'? They ain't snuffin'. Poison is being applied. Black market connections. They can pay the 6 because honestly, I don't deal that much damage. Yes, I can have that as like a way I win in this deck, but for the most part, we're not about damage. Pay the 6. Come on, you know you wanna. Please? Please pay the 6. You think playing Liliana and then plussing was the play for them? I think playing Lily and plussing was a great way of being like, hey, you're gonna have to deal with this eventually. You would have minused? I don't know. Because then she just dies to a single hit from the other 1/1 that's remaining. Here comes Liliana. Yes, but if Fynn's not out, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not as big. Plus or minus, lady.
One of your friends has to leave.
Yeah, one of you has to leave. We can't be wearing the same dress. Actually, shouldn't have played the Fang first there. But that's fine. Village Rights, they're sacrificing that to draw. And Liliana's ability is symmetrical. I care more about the poison. Bring them to 8 poison. They should have some instant speed kill spells. They're a Liliana deck. Sometimes they just don't have it. Yeah, Fynn I used to see a lot more of a long time ago in the queue. Because it is a budget-friendly deck, it's very easy to build. It's also very linear, though. So if you enjoy playing the same thing kind of each time... Fynn. Pay the 6. They paid 3.
Drop it.
They dropped a Cavern of Souls. I drop a Forest. And hopefully I top deck like a protection spell. That would be great. Oh. Actually, you know what? I hope I top deck Questing Beast. That ain't no Questing Beast. I will take all my little homeboys here. I'm gonna slam a jam them. Ooh, do I want to slam a jam them? Yeah, I do want to slam a jam them. Yeah, it's a forest. Hit her for 1 only so she can't mine us again. That's great. Please stop trying to backseat in the chat or I'll ban you. Ooh, they did have single target removal? Huh.
The wrong necromancer.
Yeah, if you'd like to play the game of Magic, you can do that on your own. If you want to play alternative lines of play, keep them to yourself. Oh no, I have to discard.
Tired of your secrets.
They're paying so much life. They have to win before they kill themselves. They have to block. They could technically block with the land or the token. Next set, you get 2 Lilianas. Do we? We know that in the story, the 2 Lilianas met up with each other. We know there's some weird alternate universe garbage going on. There are no elves in my graveyard. Fynn is not an elf. Finn's a human. Though the call time creatures, green-white had humans, green-black had elves. Oh my god, Bob? I would have replayed minused her again. Just kill both of these. Blame Jace. Every moment of every day. Draw a card. No. No tax. Ah, I hit a land. Have to pay at least 1. They only pay 1. I wanted the Bob to live. I could have attacked with Fynn and replayed him, but with the Liliana where she is, that's tricky. Come on, bud. I got a low-grade fever and no patience for this. No. I want you to die to Bob. Okay. Yeah, you're funny. Hello? Hello? Okay. +1/+0 and trample. You got a kill spell? They drew. We know they have one blocker off Faceless Haven. Okay, that's a funny game. Magic's silly. Ketamos, the new Dawn, exiles things to draw cards. I actually kind of like starting with Venerated Rot Priest in this matchup. That or the Pheresis Roach, because they have a ton of single target things. Though oftentimes they're not actually targeting the creatures themselves, they're targeting other things in play, or they're like entering and then targeting, like the Banishing Light effects, but also Swords to Plowshares and the like. All right, so I got 3 little guys out. One's got Death Touch, 2 have Toxic. Now, Ketamos decks are also usually running a lot of board wipes because he's indestructible. He's a god. Not all the gods are indestructible. This one is. All right, so they Vanishing Versed, which did get them poisoned again. I'm going to play Fynn and apply a bit more Toxin. 1 from you, you're going to tick up the amount of Toxic you get. And then 2 from Fynn. An unidentified hover ship allows them to exile Fynn. I can keep it there, but then my commander's gone forever, so I'm not going to. Just keep swinging. And I'll play this Butler because I didn't get a land. 1 more hit from the Pheresis Roach and they die. Yeah! Alchemy garbage. I don't have any protective spells in hand, so I'm gonna go for Fynn. Okay, Anguished Unmaking. And now the Roach kills them. Alright, pop a Roach! And this man. Our 100% win rate on the play continues. Another Ketamos, the new Dawn. We'll see if this one gives up before the end like the other one did. This hand is nice because it has the Mox Amber. I am on the draw, and I have nothing on turn 1, though, so I think I'm going to throw this back. Something like Guardian Project could give me some cool sustain against them, though. And it's like, if I can keep getting threats, that's nice. Unfortunately, I just like don't have ways to deal with their commander. Double mulligan. All right, Ankle Biter. Keep. Drop. I think Overprotect and keep Biosynthetic in this. They're saying hi. Hey! Look at my little bird. It's a good chocobo. I'd say the reason to keep overprotecting this hand is because I have an Ink Moth Nexus, and giving it +3/+3 can end games. But I'm thinking, like, they probably have artifacts and enchantments that exile things. But there's a dead card for some turns. They'll have black removal, though. Not as much as white removal, though, because, like, exile. Some black removal exiles, Baleful Mastery and the like. Fynn. Fynn fun for fun Finns. Does he die? It has been snuffed out. And paying life against me is super okay. Bye, Fynn. Shadowy Backstreet. It's back. All right. Here comes Ketamos. I can apply 1 poison, or I could ramp. I kind of like ramp and protect. Bonk. They have surveilled. That's a land. Finnegan. Not attacking with the Frog Butler because I want to hold up my 1 mana protection. Opposition Agent. Okay. Ketamos is not a Theros god. He's an Amonkhet god. No, I'll just take that trade. I don't know if I have any tutors in my deck. You could certainly add them. Like Green Sun Zenith. Ketamos will be growing, getting +1/+1 counters, and gaining abilities if the things exiled happen to have activated abilities. I'm gonna go for safekeeping. We protect. Veil Summer wouldn't have worked against that, because again, it's white. Ha! Who would have worked against that, though? Murderous Cut. And now, because they delved, there are 5 cards in exile, and they'll be able to start, like, blocking soon. Move my commander to the command zone. Yes, please. If this Fynn dies again, I'm going all in on Ink Moth Nexus. They're up to 6. Fynn has been fragmented, but I will get a 1-drop. I have many in my deck. Ketamos is now able to attack and block. They draw another card. Another way to slurp things up from vacuums, or with a vacuum. Yeah, you can either put them in the soup or you can hover. Hoover. Oh, there we go. Back to 7. And they gain 5. Also deal 5. 5-turn clock right there. Maybe I should be earthbending it first. Yeah, ooh, earthbending, that would be good. As long as I'm holding up some mana, I'm alright with that. Hi, Felia. What a cute doggy. Blinking stuff works very well with them since it puts them in exile, and sometimes they'll have entered the battlefield and causing exile effects. Right now, I don't know, you could like blink Ghost Vacuum. Lets you use it twice in a turn. Oh, it's Torak! You're targeting me? I would like to not discard 2 at random. They slurp it, draw a card, lose a life. Yeah, we could have had 3 damage if I had remembered to do that first. There's like more poison. Alright, who's blinking? You cannot blink my land, it is a land. Yeah, I think blinking Ghost Vacuum so you can use it twice is good. And I'm down to 13 life. It gets exiled, it will return to play. And I gain life. And they just keep drawing. What a menace. Yeah, Ketamos is just like, hey, you want to see how much removal I can draw? No, not really. Whee! She can fly. There's no creatures in the graveyard, right? Oh, now there will be. That means they can put a +1/+1 counter onto Torak and just like eat this up. Oh, they want to use it to draw though. Oh, okay. Just you and me, Frog Butler. Esper Sentinel. For all my delectable spells. No! They're pushing him! They get to exile. Now their creatures can tap for mana. You miss Alfrog. Sorry, Froggy. They have a 2-turn clock. It just keeps drawing. I think that if Ketamos didn't have lifelink, this wouldn't be as good, because they actually would have been dead to the just like their own life loss. But no, lifelink. Also, Ketamos is so weird because it doesn't do anything in standard. We're both playing boring 1v1 commanders. Ketamos and Fynn. Listen, I'm dead to damage anyway. Let me have this. Let's Ketamos in a 4-color root stack. I don't think the root stack ever saw much play, though. I feel like the root stack was always, like... There have always been Insidious Roots believers, and it's never done that much. GG Ketamos. Revenge for the previous one. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, and Fynn, with his 100% win rate on the play, he does what he needs to do. This is a great budget-friendly deck, and I would say that if you need to cut rares in this deck, the one that I think is most keepable is Tyrannix Rex, followed by Inkmoth Nexus. Those two cards I think are the best way for you to just sneak in a little bit of extra damage. The repeatable proliferators are also nice, but you know what? With Fynn, you can do it with what you got. So if you're looking for something to play that's, I don't know, Hell Q-ish, or I guess ranked-ish, to use the new Q, Fynn is a good choice on a budget, since almost all of it is commons and uncommons. If you're looking for my deck list, you can find it in the description of the video. And if you are wondering, hey, Amy, are you planning on playing a lot in the ranked queue with this and other decks? The answer is no. I actually did record a bunch of games with this. They're not in a video, in the ranked queue. And they were all terrible. I felt like I was just punching down in a way that didn't feel good. And I already know that the way that you're going to have good matches in the ranked queue for Brawl, because it's the same for every single other ranked queue. I used to play a lot of ranked. You need to get to Mythic, and then you need to decay below 80%. And if you're thinking, Amy, that's stupid, why would I do that? Because that's where you get good games. You want people who have done the grind and are now looking to experiment and have fun. And the place you find that, you find competent players that have good collections and build decent decks, but aren't just looking to maximize their win rate, is in low Mythic. So if you're looking to find the special queue, it's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of time. But if you want something to help you grind some ranks, I mean, Fynn will do the trick. It's an easy enough deck to pilot, hit people in the face with death touchers. You know the drill. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.